The Tyendinaga Reserve doesn't usually get a lot of attention, except from Ontario smokers who head there in droves to buy cheap cigarettes. The price is incredibly low, about $20 a carton. Tyendinaga's tobacco sellers say they are not bound by Canada's laws, nor obligated to pay Canadian taxes. Sean Brandt of Tyendinaga Mohawk Tobacco Products is a major player. He estimates that between $6 to $8 million comes into the community every month. Never before has he allowed the media inside his business. Brandt is one of the people here who say they are ready to fight to protect what the government says is an illegal trade.
Community members have stated to me personally that this is something that's worth standing up for. While people may not understand, we're more afraid to go back to the way that we were than we are to stand and fight for where we are now.
The past Brandt doesn't want to return to is poverty. Before tobacco started bringing a cascade of cash into the reserve, people were broke. Jamie Kunkel was one of them. Now he owns a store, and he says he'll defend it if he needs to.
I can't picture myself laying back and watching them take everything I've worked for and everything that provides the income for my family. Like I have 3 children, and it's not going to happen. I'm not just going to let them walk away with, all the stuff that we've made and done in the last 3 and 4 years.
For Kunkel, the tobacco trade was the ticket out of poverty.
And to be able to walk away from welfare into providing just enough for myself to cover all the basics I own a couple vehicles. I'm building a house this spring.
Our people, because of the availability of revenue within here, when they go out shopping, they're not treated like shit anymore.
Now this here will probably take us probably 4 days, 5 days, and we'll be ready for another delivery.
Tobacco sales have turned Philip Merkel's life around too. He owns a gas station, a restaurant, and sells tobacco online. His 8 businesses employ 28 people. Merkel believes he has the same ancestral right to sell tobacco as he does to hunt and fish.
If the Canadian government can make a profit off of a tobacco product, why would a native not be able to do the same? Because I would feel that we're manufacturing this. If I killed a deer, cleaned it all up, made a coat, right, and sold that to the white guy, right, is that right or wrong? If I cut down a tobacco leaf, shred it, and made a cigarette out of it and sell it to that, what is the difference? It's still handmade from a native, and there should not be any tax on that.
Under Canadian law, cigarettes and deerskin jackets are very different. Revenue Canada has notified some Tyendinaga tobacco dealers that their businesses need federal licenses. But the Tyendinaga Mohawks contend that Canada's laws don't apply to them.
Personally, I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong. They're rights that have been given to us since the beginning of time. I mean, the non-native person wouldn't even have tobacco were it not for us and our people.
Brandt, Merkel, and Kunkel are convinced the conflicts of the last week are only the beginning, and they're going to get much worse. Oka, Brandt was there. The standoff lasted for 78 days. Come on! Shoot! Shoot! The fight this time is not over land, but over the even bigger question of sovereign status for Indigenous peoples. Tobacco sales are only part of a much larger plan.
We needed a market-based economy that was separate and distinct from those monies allocated through the Department of Indian Affairs. And we felt by generating our own capital, we would have the opportunity to also have the discretion as to how we would develop programs and service our people.
So the tobacco money is being used to help return the reserve to traditional law. For the Mohawks, that means a longhouse, the traditional seat of government and power. Brant is building one, and he sees it as the fulfillment of a prophecy. According to that prophecy, Mohawk suffering started when they made war on a sister Iroquois nation. Only the rebuilding of the Longhouse and recommitting to traditional law, native law, will end that time of suffering.
Every person has a relationship to that Longhouse from their history, even if one never existed before. People see it as that institution of governance, that place where people come, that safe spot. People see it as a place to conduct our ceremonies, again, publicly and openly. People see it as a unifying force for our people, commonality within a fast and turbulent society now.
Everything is based through the Longhouse, like the whole operation, our licensing. We are for the people, like the way it should be.
What does that mean to you, the Longhouse?
In my heart, you love everyone and you treat everyone fairly and the way it should be.
In that spirit, Brant hasn't waited for the Longhouse to be finished to start creating the government he thinks Tyendinaga should have. Funded by tobacco sales and supplied by Mohawk hunters, Brant and other community members have started a food program.
As a government that cares about its people and cares about the day-to-day activities and the day-to-day needs of our people, we've been able to use resources and develop nutritional programs, health programs, food programs, social programs.
Prepared meals are delivered to 75 households a week.
It brings in the values of sharing and respecting one another, and it's not something that we base on income, it's something that we base on health.
The irony in this newfound prosperity coming from a product that can make people sick is not lost on Sean Brant.
Enjoy it.
And so sadly, yeah, we've had to resign ourselves to the same position as the government of Canada in marketing a substance, a toxic substance, if you want to call it that. Our nation, that our future may depend on this now, but that this can provide for other opportunities, that money can be used to create other industries and access other means of generating money.
The tobacco money has brought hope. Unemployment is down, and according to tribal police, there has been a significant drop in the crime rate. And there are many plans for the future.
This really is, it's a unique building, both within our community or anywhere. But we're close. It looks a little far away, but we're really close now.
For Brant and other Mohawks, shutting down the tobacco trade also means shutting down their aspiration to sovereignty. But how far are they prepared to go to defend their business, the Longhouse, and everything it represents?
When you've lived free for a moment, you never forget it. And if they came in and killed people, and we killed people, we do it again.